Hello again, everybody. It is Friday, March 6th, and this is Mr. Reichley's Weekly Webcast. To begin with, coronavirus. I know, right? Please know that we are doing everything that we can here at school to keep the kids safe and keep the environment as germ-free as possible. And when you've got, 900 something kids running around with running noses and coughing and sneezing, it's a challenge at best, but we're doing everything we can do, washing hands and wiping surfaces and spraying classrooms with a germ fogger. And we are doing everything we can do here to assure their safety. The best thing that you can do at home is to stay home if they are sick. Please don't send them in if they're under the weather, if they got a fever, make sure they're 24 hours free of fever before you send them back. And, all of that stuff and just best practices. And we should be able to hopefully curtail any issues here at TRIT. Book fair. Thank you all so much to the book buyers. We've added about 25 books to the library. Our focus was on graphic novels because we didn't have a lot of them. And that became very obvious with our 10-book challenge and our genre reading challenge. And there weren't a whole lot of graphic novels to choose from. So now, boy, do we got a lot of those. And that's awesome. And we added a couple of horror books because we don't have very many of those. And one of them even by Neil Gaiman. So if you're familiar with him, he's a fantastic writer, one of my personal favorites. And so thank you again to the book buyers for contributing to our classroom library, and greatly appreciated by myself and more importantly by the kids. Today is the STEAM Showcase Day. We've been researching our wildflowers and trying to come up with a plausible plan to plant a pollinator garden. And one of the interesting things that we've stumbled on today is picking individual flowers, everybody picking this flower and that flower and this flower, versus possibly doing a wildflower mix of 20 some species all together in 1/4 pound bag of seeds. So it's kind of an interesting discussion that we've been having today. And one of the other things that we did was went out and scouted potential planting areas for the gardens, keeping in mind sun and all of that stuff, and water, and plants, water, who knew? So yeah, it's been a really good STEAM day. So do ask your kids about how STEAM went today. If they were in Target, they weren't here today, they were targeting. So the Target kids were not privy to today's conversation. We will catch up with them on what our discoveries are next week and continue those conversations with the Target kids in mind as well. And finally, what's going on in class? Man, it's been pre-post testapalooza this week. So in math, we have finished up with fractions and we are moving into decimals. In reading, we were focusing on some of our reading skills, in particular, supporting our answers with text from the article, and that's always a big one on the milestone. In writing, we wrote some amazing opinion essays this week. I was hands off this week. It was all them in preparation for next week when we do our final opinion right. And that one I will apply the rubric to. So ask them to show you their opinion essay that they wrote this week. They're really very good. I'm very proud of them. They've really done an excellent job. In science, we took our weather test, and a few of them didn't do so good on the test. And we're going to retest them either today, Friday, or if they're in Target, they will be able to retest on Tuesday when they get back, because Monday, Target goes back to Monday. And in social studies, we have been looking at the Industrial Revolution, the cotton gin, and all kinds of other fun inventions from the early 1800s. That's about it. Everybody have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you soon.